Good morning from Liverpool Street Station. I'm off today on a 4-day adventure which I'm doing with Dad. We're going to go to Norfolk. So Dad travelled to Norfolk by train from his home in Stockport, and I went there from London with 2 Bromptons because we were going to do a holiday using folding bikes combined with trains and buses. When I sat down to plan the trip, first I wanted to see which parts of the county we could get to by train. Google Maps shows railway lines, but actually they're really faint and they don't appear until I zoom right in. Here they are, look. It's okay, but I found that OpenStreetMap was better. If you click on transport, you can easily see where there are railway lines and where the stations are. So this branch line north of Norwich looked really useful. Planning the bus side of things was a bit more fiddly, but I found this fantastic bus atlas website where you can see the main bus routes, and it's brilliant for planning because the thick lines are buses that run at least once an hour. So we could confidently plan days out that use these radial routes and cycle between them. It's an independent, non-commercial website actually, with one map for each county. Complete hats off to the guy who's doing it. Anyway, part 1 of the plan was to both arrive in Norwich. So hopefully Dad's going to be on that Liverpool train. I'll meet you there. So we settled in. It was so handy just to pop the bikes in a corner like this in the flat that we'd rented whilst we had a look around Norwich. So now it's Tuesday morning. The plan today is to get the train towards the north coast of Norfolk. I love treasure hunt type adventures, looking for things. On this trip we were going to look for some of Norfolk's wool churches built 600 odd years ago when Norfolk was super rich from sheep. So we planned to use the branch line north to a village called Gunton and then cycle south from there. Dad is 88 now. He got a bike when he retired and he rides pretty much every day as his local transport for short trips and for pleasure on old railways and up into the foothills of the Peak District. So our first train had worked perfectly and the station was super cute. In the station, it's lovely.
Yeah, and the old luggage hand cart.
Yeah. Oh, this is our left turn.
This is where we're going.
Trunch.
Oh,
Nice, isn't it?
Still not used to which way to move.
Oh, it's tricky, isn't it? Yeah. So what we were looking for here was a medieval font canopy. It's a sort of fancy kind of gazebo thing. There are only 4 of these in the UK and this one is supposed to be fantastic. But first we stopped at the War Memorial.
You don't think there are enough people here? You see there are 4 fullers there. 5, God's sake.
Gosh.
Lewis, Owen, Thomas.
The whole
It's
family.
incredible, isn't it?
Never seen anything quite like that. It's just covered in detail. There's a little bird with a beak. I love things like this. I love seeing how people saw the world. There's all sorts on it. Squirrels eating nuts and birds eating berries and a man sort of poking at a dragon. It's the most beautiful church actually. I love this place. It's open and you leave a donation. The gate's open here though. This looks lovely.
There's a lovely spot.
Yeah, it looks lovely. They're cute, aren't they? We had a fish pie and then pudding. This is pretty, isn't it? And it's easy.
Yeah.
It's much easier.
It's for living. Let's see where this song might lead.
This was much later, and there are no cute squirrels and things here. Just serious inscriptions on it, which we tried to read.
Does that help?
What can that be? Actually, though, the main thing we wanted to see here was the roof. It's an angel roof. There are loads of these in East Anglia and hardly any elsewhere for some reason. Anyway, this is a fantastic one. Knapton Church is small, and people wonder how come it got such a grand roof. One theory is that the roof was actually meant for somewhere else and had been carved in London and was being shipped up the coast, but the ship was washed ashore on the beach just a couple of miles away from here, and people salvaged the hammer beams and their angels and kept them. Anyway, after we'd enjoyed all that, we got back on the bikes and carried on to the next place. Little old phone box here.
Why don't we go there and have some more wine? 'Cause life is for living.
So this village was called Worstead. People here made a particular type of lightweight wool fabric in medieval times, thinner than the sort of duffel coat type woolen cloth that was woven elsewhere. They became wealthy from selling the cloth, and in the 1300s they built this huge church. Worstead manufacture is now a global industry worth over £4 billion apparently, and it all started here. Inside the church is apparently super pretty. Oh. So we didn't see inside Worstead Church, but we'd got 2 out of 3 in the day, and now we braved a little bit of rain and headed for the station. Rain! Never mind. It's been such a good day. Oh. Brilliant! Got round our first day. Yes.
All right.
Well
Well,
done.
not
Well,
having the cape on, what we're
A bit wet
trousers
legs.
get
Yeah,
wet.
I know, my legs were getting a bit wet.
However,
We've done it.
we've done it.
We managed to.
We can get off the bike.
That's it. We'd sent photos to the family of medieval art. Looks great, says Nick. Lunch was intriguing. Prawns and Yorkshire pudding.
It's intriguing. Prawns in the Yorkshire pudding. What did you tell her about the lunch?
Nothing. I think they've just been trying to interpret the
Work it
photos.
Prawns in the Yorkshire pudding.
Here's the train. Need to see where the bike door is. We were not quite in the right place actually, but we can just fold up the bikes if we need.
Wasn't the greatest in fact.
Yeah, moderate. The cake was better. So it's day 3, and today we're going to use buses. So we're going to catch the bus to Aylsham. We had come to Norfolk on holiday as a family actually, like about 50 years ago. And today we were going to go back to some of the places we had seen then. We were aiming for the X44 bus, which is one of the fast and frequent ones, goes every half hour to the north coast of Norfolk. Where are you getting off?
Aylsham Road.
Oh, not going too far. We're going to Aylsham proper. Yeah. The bus was brilliant actually. It cost £2 because of the bus fare cap thing, and it was busy and friendly. And in half an hour we arrived in Aylsham. Off it goes. So we were chuffed that our bus had worked out, and we set up the bikes and headed off towards Corston through quite wet lanes initially, but then it dried out. It was chilly, which is why Dad has got his hood on. I've got a headwind. and we arrived in Corston. The church was built by a family that had started out sort of obscure, and then in the 1300s had made a fortune exporting wool and importing wine. What we most wanted to see was the roof. The wooden angels here are 6 foot tall and dressed in feathers, which is apparently how actors dressed when they portrayed angels in medieval mystery plays. So we enjoyed all that, and then it was time for lunch. So now we're in Crown Inn, really nice, and Dad's catching up on the cricket. So we had another nice pub lunch and another pudding. And then we set off again to the next place.
It's 9 in the city, and I'm on my way back home. Humming on my favorite dish.
So we came to Saul Church, which is pretty much all on its own, just with a cricket field.
Field there. Different times. 5 o'clock, so we're all right.
Yes! This is heavy. So this church was built in the 1300s with money from wool, like the other massive one we had just seen. It is massive. Everything was big.
It's got a crane. A crane to lift it off.
Oh my goodness. Warning. Steps are of different heights.
Different heights and grit from the walls may make them slippery.
Should we risk it?
Do you want to go and see what
Yeah. Will you be able to get down again?
I don't know.
They're quite small, the steps. Oh my gosh, it's quite high. Oh my god, it's hugely high.
Coming down is going to be hard.
There's a whole room up here. It was nice to think we had come here 50 years ago with my mum and brothers and now had come back.
It's 9 in the city, and I'm on my way back home. Humming on my favorite ditty, swinging
stop?
like Natalie.
Oh, pretty well, I think.
But then out of the blue, who strolls down the boulevard but you? Your place is closer than mine. Why don't we go there and have some more wine? 'Cause life is for living. Let's see where this song might lead.
How about that?
How about that? Good job. We're going to go across.
Yes. The only problem was that we were too late for tea.
Have you parked in the car park?
No, we're on
You've
bike.
just come from this.
This is our transport.
This is your transport. I love it. It's absolutely gorgeous.
I want my bus and things like that.
And then we've been riding around churches. Would it work if we put our little deck chairs and sit at the end
You
of
can
the
do better
house?
than that. You can go to the lake. So,
So-
out that gate,
Yeah.
there's a little path.
Okay.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll do that.
Thank you
better
very
now.
much.
I just
yeah.
hope you stay dry.
Well, yeah, we sheltered under the last shower.
We found a tree. Yeah. Thank you.
Always happy to help a Brompton rider.
Lovely to meet you. Bye, thanks. Or further that looks better, yeah. Yeah. How about this, you think? It's much better, isn't it?
Should enjoy the fruits of life instead of
Elsham Marketplace.
Do it 2 minutes.
Do it, no,
20.
24 it's actually due.
Awesome.
Yeah, or is it 20? Hello.
Hello.
2 please, yeah. So buses, trains and folding bikes had worked perfectly. We'd used this bus line, but actually there were loads of interesting radial bus services to try. We'd cycled about 30 miles in total, hunting out interesting places and enjoying loads of nice food and fresh air and bird song and sunshine.